Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be reacting to Gareth Southgate's selected England squad for the upcoming Nations League games. We've got Italy away in the first game at San Siro, and we've got Germany at home at Wembley. I'm going to go over the squad, guys, and tell you what I think of it. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. Right now, guys, here we go then. We can see the squad there. As I say, for the upcoming games against Italy and Germany, we've got Italy away at San Siro in the first game, and then we've got Germany at home, the arch enemy, at Wembley. We can see the squad there, guys. We'll start off with the three goalkeepers. I'm also going to include who I think probably a bit harsh to miss out. I've got a list just here of players who I think it's harsh that they've missed out, to be fair. But we'll get into that in a minute. So first off, we've got three keepers. We've got Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, and Aaron Ramsdale. I don't think that's too bad a shout, really. All three have been in pretty good form. For me, going into this, I think it's sort of a chance for Henderson, Pope and Ramsdale to sort of get... It's an opportunity for them to get into that World Cup squad. Obviously, that's coming in the winter. I think Pickford is going to be there in the World Cup. So I think it's a chance for these three to sort of nail down one of them spots if they can get a good performance in one of these games. Out of the three, I think they'd probably go Ramsdale as your starting keeper. I think he's been... a bit of a stalwart in the Arsenal team so far. Not that I don't think Henderson and Pope are quite good, but for me, Ramsdale's probably the stronger out of the three there. I can expect to see him probably play maybe the Italy game, and give maybe Pope or Henderson the go in one of the Germany games. It depends as well how serious Southgate's going to take them. He could even give one half each. You never know. But yeah, I think Pickford, he's not in there for me because I think he's sort of nailed down for the World Cup. And yeah, I think he's already guaranteed a World Cup spot, so he's giving these three a chance in my eyes. Moving on to the defence then, guys. Already I can see there's so many defenders in there. I don't know why, but he packs in so many defenders to Southgate. So many right backs. I think there's four right backs in there, just from what I can see. We'll start with Trent. I think Trent's quite lucky to be in there, to be fair. I think his form's been pretty poor so far this season. Been really subject at the back of Liverpool, and Trent's been a big part of that, especially in the Champions League. Some of them Champions League games, he's been absolutely abysmal, I'll be honest. And yeah, going forward, of course, Trent's a brilliant player. Could maybe feature in the midfield. We keep seeing that before, of course. But if you can't start him at right back, I think there's three right backs in there that have been better than him so far this year. And Trent, for me, he's lucky to get in that squad, if I'm honest. But like you say, you probably could put him in the midfield. And that's probably where I'd play him, to be fair. But yeah, Trent's in there. Chilwell, another one, a bit debatable, really. He's not played much games so far. But I don't think we're blessed with left-backs, if I'm honest, England. I don't think we're absolutely blessed with him. One of the players I will mention quickly, one that maybe could be within a shout to get in there and has not got in there, Rico Henry at Brentford. Not involved in the squad, but yeah, we're not blessed with great left backs, unfortunately. But yeah, Chilwell has made it. Not played a great amount of games with Cucurella coming in at Chelsea, but he's in there. Conor Cody then, he's in there. He's moved to Everton, of course, over the summer. It's a bit of a strange choice, I can think of centre halves who missed out there. Who will I press up on? I'll just go with Ben White and Chris Smalling. Two guys there, Ben White and Chris Smalling, have missed out over Conor Cody. For me, they've both probably deserved to be in there over him. Everton, as we know, haven't had the best start to the season. Cody's obviously a new player in there. He can sort of point the finger at him. He's playing in a back five, so, he's not been playing in a great back five, and he's probably going to be in a back five for England, so make that make sense. But yeah, Conor Cody's in there. Eric Dier then up next. Spurs have been alright this year so far, because they're undefeated so far, and Dier's been a big part of that. I get why they've brought him back in, to be fair. He can sort of feature in that midfield as well, so it's a bit of utility. Eric Dier probably deserves to be back in. It's been like a good 2 years since he's been in that England squad, so pretty good to see him back, really. He's not been brilliant over the years for England, but yeah, he probably, going off club form, probably does deserve to be back in the squad. Mark Guehi then up next, Crystal Palace defender. It's good to see, regardless of what club you're at, you can get in that England squad. And Mark Guehi, he's done alright for England, not been that too bad, really. And yeah, he's kept his place in there, and fair play to him, Done alright for Palace, alright so far this season, and yeah, kept his spot. pretty pleased to see that, to be fair. Reece James, for me, probably the form right back in England, to be fair. Probably the best right back so far in the Premier League, English-wise, should I say. And yeah, he probably does deserve to be in there for me. He's a form right back for England, and yeah, I'd start him, to be fair. Out of the four, I'd start him. Moving on to someone I don't think should be in the squad, Harry Maguire. If you're not playing for your club, you shouldn't be in the England team for me. It's as simple as that. He's been dropped from United's squad, so why the hell is he in the England team? I know he's probably looked at as one of the leaders. I get that to a degree. But he's not the England captain, so why is he in the England squad? If he's not playing for Man United, he shouldn't be in that England squad for me. I've mentioned two centre-halves there that are playing week in, week out, and they've not got in this squad. So why is Harry Maguire in there? Answers on a postcard, guys. But yeah, Ben White has missed out, and Chris Smalling, who's been playing really well for Roma, has missed out as well. Not everyone's a big Chris Smalling fan, I get that, but if we're going off club form, he's been brilliant for Roma, and he's missed out for Harry Maguire, who's been absolute dire for Man United when he's played, and he's not even in the team at the moment, so make that one make sense. Next up then, another player, exactly same situation as Maguire, Luke Shaw. He's not currently in the Man United team. Malasia's been in there, a 19-year-old kid has got himself in there over Luke Shaw, so why is Luke Shaw in the England team? I know we're not blessed with great left backs, and for me that's probably the only reason that he has got in there. But I did mention it a bit earlier, Rico Henry. You're not getting in over someone who's not even playing football. What more can you do? You tell me, Gareth Southgate. But yeah, Luke Shaw's in there. They shouldn't be in there, in my opinion. As for Maguire, two players that should not be in there are in there. There we go. John Stones then. He's just come back from injury recently. He's probably one of the better centre-halves in the England side. And that's not just coming from a City bias. Yeah, he probably does just about deserve to be in there. He's had a couple of good games recently for City. So yeah, you struggle to drop him really when he's one of them leaders. And he's back from injury and he's in the team. So John Stones gets in there for me. Good decision. For Kyle Tomori then, really exciting, quick centre-half. It just shows you that he plays in Serie A, it doesn't matter where you play, what country you're playing in. Southgate's giving these guys a chance. So why is Chris Smalling not in there then? Another Serie A centre-half who's playing well. No, I don't know. But yeah, Tomori's in there, and he's never really had a bad game really for England, so good to see Tomori still in the squad. He's giving the younger guys a chance, and I do agree with that. But yeah, for Kyle Tomori, keeps his place. Good selection. Moving on to the other right back, two more right backs then. We've got Kieran Trippier. Newcastle have had a pretty iffy start to the season. Not been brilliant, not been great. Not been bad though, should I say. He played really well in that Man City game. Stopped the Bruno on that counter charge and scored a free kick, of course. Yeah, Trippier's he's not inconsistent. He's consistent, really. He'll sort of give you a 7 out of 10 every game. He'll never be amazing, but he'll never let you down. So yeah, it's a safe choice for Southgate, really, and I think he likes Trippier on that right wing back spot. So yeah, he gets in there. He can also play on the left as well, a bit more utility. But yeah, safe choice for Southgate, really, to keep Trippier in there. Decent player and pretty good selection. Speaking of utility, Kyle Walker gets in there. Another player who is, massive utility option for Southgate. He can play at centre half in a back three, and he can play right wing back as well. He can play right back if you want to go over 4. So yeah, good player, Kyle Walker. Injured towards the latter part of last season, and I think he's got a knock now as well. So why he's in the England squad, I don't know. Unless he's nearly back from injury, I don't know. But yeah, Walker gets in there, safe option really, and he'll be going to the World Cup as well, I'd imagine. Moving on to midfield then, guys. Jude Bellingham, pretty obvious choice to put him in really for me. He's been brilliant. At Dortmund, he's been lighting up. He lights up the Bundesliga. One of the better players in the England squad for me, and then he couldn't not have been in there really. He's a fantastic player, and obvious choice really for Southgate. Mason Mount then, I think that's a pretty debatable one, to be honest. He's not been brilliant for Chelsea really recently. I don't know who you'd put in there. I've got some people on the list. Marcus Edwards, Sporting, been playing pretty well. I know the Portuguese league's not a great deal to go off. When I've seen him in the Champions League, he's done really well, Marcus Edwards. So maybe he could have been in there, but harsh to maybe leave him out. Another player as well, guys, I have put on this list who probably should have potentially got in there. Joe Willock at Newcastle. I think he's been brilliant. Like, every time I see him play for Newcastle, he never lets them down. He always plays well. They signed him for 20 million from Arsenal because he played so well for them on loan. And yeah, I think for me, he's sort of not. He's good, like, box to box player. So for me, it doesn't like. Mason Mount doesn't jump over him leaps and bounds. I think they're both quite similar players. So for me, I'd give Willock a chance rather than putting Mount in. I'd have dropped Mount and said, Willock, there's your chance. So take it. So another player who could have got in over Mount. We've got James Maddison. Leicester have not had the best start to the season this year in the Premier League, but I think Maddison's been probably one of the better players. I don't know if he's got a knock. Might potentially have an injury knock, which maybe has left him out. But yeah, for me, Maddison or Edwards or Willett could have all got in there over Mount, and pretty disappointed not to see any of them feature really. Moving on to Calvin Phillips then. Why is he in the England squad? Don't get me wrong, I know he never lets England down. He always does quite well, but I thought we were meant to be going off like form players, and he's just not playing for Man City. So if you're not playing for City, don't get me wrong, he had an injury recently, but he struggles to get in over Rodri anyway. So why is he in the squad? He's supposed to be picking these form guys, and I know he's probably going to want them two sitting in there, Rice and Phillips. But if you're not playing for England, if you're not playing for your club, should you really be getting in the England squad? But yeah, there you go. Phillips is in. Anyway, moving on to Declan Rice. It's a pretty obvious one really. West Ham captain now, Declan Rice. Ever present really in that West Ham team. He's always playing. Good choice. He does that job well. Sits in that front of that back in front of the defence and does a job for you. So good choice, Declan Rice, and he's going to be in there for years to come, I think. Moving on to James Ward-Prowse then. I don't think he'll get much game time, which is a bit of a shame. He's decent. He's more than just set piece delivery, James Ward-Prowse. But yeah, they've thrown him in the squad. I do agree with it. I like him. I like to see, especially in these kind of games that don't really mean a great deal. I like to see different midfielders get a chance, see what can work. It's only going to benefit them if they experiment and see, is there something out there that you're not expecting, sort of like a Ward-Prowse. Are they going to, light up the England team and sort of get them playing together and more and make them look a better side overall? They've thrown Ward-Prowse in. I hope he gets a chance. Yeah, good little selection that for me. Moving on to the forward line then, guys. Tammy Abraham. Robert have been playing pretty well in Serie A, to be fair, and Tammy Abraham's one of them players who've been playing pretty well. He's flourishing under Mourinho, just like Chris Smalling, who's not in here. But yeah, Tammy Abraham does make the squad. Good little selection. He brings something a bit different to the England team, bit of height. And yeah, he gets in over the likes of Rashford, who, for me, Marcus Rashford's not everyone's cup of tea. I get that, but he's got in over Rashford, Abraham. Rashford does a job wide and in the middle. Bit of a strange one. He's missed out really. He's got an injury knock, but there was sort of talk that he was going to get in this squad. He hasn't done. But yeah, a bit of a strange one for me that Rashford's not made it. Moving on then, Jared Bowen. Someone who's not started the season great, but I think he does offer a bit to the England squad. He's pretty dangerous cutting on the inside, and I think he's cutting on the right on his left foot. But yeah, he's a good player, Bowen. He's not started brilliantly in the league, but I think you've got to give him more games and he'll sort of play his way back into form. Alright selection that for me. I don't mind it. Don't mind it too much. Phil Foden's next then. Can't not put him in there really. He's been pretty good for City. He's not been amazing this year so far, but he's doing quite well. He had that brilliant game against Sevilla in the Champions League. I think that maybe cemented his spot in the squad, to be fair. He offers you a lot, Foden. He can play down the middle, play on either wing, a strong utility front man again. And yeah, good selection from Southgate. You've got to put him in there for me. There'd be questions asked if he didn't. Questions asked why this guy next is in the squad, Jack Grealish. Similar to Calvin Phillips, really. He's not getting in the squad every week, so why is he playing? Why is he in the England squad? He's not been great for City either. He's sort of been a bit stagnant. So a bit debatable that he's in the England squad. A lot of fans liked him sort of in the Euros coming on. He seemed to make a big impact for England. Maybe he could flourish in an England system where we sort of seem to play that back five and counter teams. Maybe he'll flourish in a game against the likes of Germany and Italy on the counter. But yeah, it's a bit of a strange one for me. The fact that he's not been playing a great deal and he gets in. A bit like Maguire, Shaw and Phillips. Why are they in there? But Grealish is in there and he makes it. Harry Kane, of course, he's the England captain. You can't not put him in. It is what it is, really. Can't say much about him. He's had a good start to the season, to be fair. Kane, he's scored a few goals and played quite well. So yeah, obvious selection, Harry Kane. Kyle Saka then for Arsenal is in there. Arsenal had a great start to the season. As a Saka, he's played really well. Doesn't get like the goals and the assists, but he plays well down the wing. You can't fault him, really. Yeah, a bit of an obvious choice for me to put Saka in there. Raheem Sterling then in next. He always does well for England. He never lets them down. He's moved to Chelsea and he's done quite well at Chelsea at the start. Yeah, a bit of an obvious one, really. He doesn't really ever let us down, so good choice to put Sterling in there, I think. Last but not least then, guys, Ivan Toney's been given the nod up front. Really good to see, sort of fresh blood getting in there. It's going to be his first England cap when he does make it. So, it's good to see that he's sort of keeping the door open for players to get in there. I think this is the last set of fixtures we've got before the World Cup. So, don't get me wrong, there are a few guys who've not made it, but I wish they did sort of get the chance to show what they're all about. But Ivan Toney has made it. I'm pretty pleased that he has got in. I think he offers something a lot different. A really tall, mobile striker. Not just like the likes of Andy Carroll, where he's not very mobile. He is quick. He can run at defenders. We've seen him score a free kick recently as well. Is that something that's added to his game? But yeah, he's a decent player and deserves to be in the England squad. And yeah, I hope he gets the chance and I hope he takes it with both hands. Good selection. I am going to go over then, guys. Just a couple of players that have not made this squad this time around that I think can be hard done by, really. And I'm going to say who I'd put them in there for. I know it's going to be hard, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm going to have a go at the guys who've not made the squad on this list here and who I'd put them in for. Ben White then, first up. And I think I mentioned it a bit earlier. Harry Maguire's made it in there. I'd have put Ben White in for him all day long. Or Connor Cody, either or. Ben White should have been in there for me. Marcus Rashford then, I think he's hard done by, really. If he hasn't got that injury knock, I think he should be in the squad. Either for me over potentially Bowen. I know he's not been brilliant at the start of the season, so maybe Rashford could have got in there over him. He's sort of flourishing on that left hand side for United now and probably should have got in there. Jadon Sancho, I think he's been hard done by not getting in the squad. He's been pretty good for United. They didn't start the season great, but Sancho's been really strong recently, and I think he probably should have got in there over Grealish, to be honest. If he's not playing games, Sancho's always playing, so for me, Sancho should have probably been in there over Grealish. Joe Willock then, guys, I have put him on the list. For me, could have got in there over Phillips or Mount. Yeah, I don't feel like either of them should probably be in there. I think Mount may be debatable. He does bring a bit to the England squad. But yeah, Phillips isn't playing for his club, so he shouldn't be in there. Willock should be for me. I've put Jordan Pickford on the list, right? Just because he's been alright so far this season for Everton. They've not been great, but a performance that really sticks out to me was the Derby performance over Liverpool at Goodison, and he played really well. Henderson's had a lot of penalty saves and stuff like that. He's played okay for Forest, but I think Pickford could have just got in over Henderson, right? But I think they sort of put Henderson in there just to give him a chance and see if he could nail down one of them 3 spots for the World Cup. So I'm not mad at Pickford's not been in there, don't get me wrong, but I thought he could have just got in there over Henderson potentially if they wanted to take these games seriously. Moving on then to the next one, I've put James Maddison on there. I think he's had a good start to the year for Leicester. I know they've not been brilliant, but Maddison's been sort of their standout player. If he's not injured, I'm not sure if he has got a knock or what. He probably could have got in there for me. Again, over Mount or Phillips, really. I think Bellingham, Rice and Ward-Prowse probably do deserve to be in there. But yeah, Maddison could have got in there over Mount or Phillips for me. And he could even play wide, to be fair. So he could have got in there over maybe Grealish as well. So yeah, a bit of a strange one that Maddison's not in there if he's not injured. Chris Smalling then, bit similar to what I said with Ben White. You'd put him in at centre-half over Cody or Maguire for me. You know, he's playing regular for Roma, so why is he not in the England squad if he's playing regular and well for Roma? Bit of a strange one. Marcus Edwards then, I've put him on the list. Sporting Lisbon player. I don't care what league you're in. If you're playing well, you deserve to be in the England squad. If you're playing well in your league and you're playing well in the Champions League, get in that England squad for me. Again, Grealish isn't playing, could have got in there. Phillips and Mount, could you give him a chance over them? For me, he could have done. But yeah, he's probably not going to get a look in now, and probably not going to get in the World Cup squad either. Moving on to my final one then, guys, on here. It's a bit of a strange one for me that I've thrown this one in, but it's a bit of an outside shot. I think Kyle Walker-Peters at Southampton should be given an opportunity in that England squad. I think he's a solid player. Like, every time I watch him play, he never lets Southampton down. Like, he never has a bad game. For me, he's been a bit hard done by not getting a chance, and he's probably not going to get a chance now to get in the England squad and probably miss out on the World Cup squad. And he's still quite young, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he could have given him an opportunity. I feel like we take too many right backs as it is, so who would he got in there over? That's the question. I'd have to drop one of the right backs, which I know sounds crazy, but you know what I could argue? You could put Trent in the midfield, right? Hear me out. Put Trent in the midfield over maybe a Phillips, because you could sit Trent a bit deeper in the midfield. Put Trent in that holding midfield spot over Phillips, and give Kyle Walker-Peters a run out of right back. I think it'd work. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Trent would be alright in midfield. He's not great defensively, Trent. So I think you could sort of put him in midfield, give Walker-Peters that go at right back, see how he does. It's a good, like, these two teams are coming up against. It's a good opportunity to see where these guys are at as well. You know, it's Italy and Germany, the two big games, two good teams. Get them out there, give them a run out and see how they do. You know, if we lose, we lose. It's you know, the Nations League are glorified friendlies. Like, give them a go. And I don't know why they've not, to be fair, but there we are. But yeah, guys, that's what I think about the England team. Of course, let me know down in the comments what you think, guys. Any more suggestions that you think should be in there? Please do let me know. But yeah, that's who I think should be in there, guys. 9 players. I mean, is it 9? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 9 players there who I think have been a bit hard done by to be left out. Let me know what you guys think. Right then, guys, there we are then. That's all for today's video. Let me know, guys, down in the comments what you think of Southgate's England selection. Let me know, guys, any players that you think should be in there that have been left out. If you have enjoyed today's video, guys, please drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.